Good morning. Hi, Space Nut. Nice to see you. We got another beautiful Saturday. We've been so lucky with these beautiful weekend days, and today it's not so hot. It is 65 degrees, a little chilly breeze in the air, which is wonderful. And we're gonna take a walk down Main Street, Catonsville, Maryland. And I'm starting here at the highway because this is where Catonsville begins, right here. This is a really good main street. Just a few minutes from downtown Baltimore, a few minutes from Columbia, Maryland. Catonsville, Maryland is located on Route 144, Frederick Road. Which is also a historic national road. We're starting here at the highway for a few reasons. Great to see you. I hope you have a great day ahead of you too, Space Nut. We are going to wait for the light to change because this is the on-ramp to the highway. This is Maryland Interstate, or not Interstate, I'm sorry. This is U.S. Interstate 695. This is the Baltimore Beltway. And this is where Catonsville begins. So I think I am going to take my care and cross this road here. Now I wanted to start here for a couple of reasons. Number one, because this is where Catonsville begins, but also because a lot of work has been done on this overpass in the last few years, to the havoc of many travelers around the Baltimore Beltway, for sure. But we get this nice sign here, Catonsville and the historic National Road. And although it is incredibly loud, you do get this really nice sidewalk going across the highway. Take a look at that. Not as busy as a work day, but still really busy. Hello, Kareem. Nice to see you. We're walking west on Maryland Route 144 over Interstate 695 to play a little Main Street bingo in Catonsville, Maryland. And I apologize, it is breezy up here. Probably getting a lot of wind noise in the audio. All right, Space Nut, you got your bingo card. Well, this is definitely not on the bingo card. Main Street going over a U.S. interstate. I'm gonna highlight this overpass and the highway that we just looked at. We're under construction and improvement for a really long time. I used to have to drive this patch on my way to and from some work assignments, and I swear it was like 6 years that it took. But well worth it, and we'll see why. Okay, being super careful here. Crossing the exit ramp. I hope wherever you are, you have weather like this today. It's amazing. It's so beautiful today. Blue skies, 65 degrees here in Catonsville, Maryland. Little bit of a nice breeze. I still can't talk today. I couldn't talk last night when we looked at Annapolis, Maryland. And I'm still tongue-tied today. I slept in this morning. after having a really good night and a great walk in the evening in Annapolis. I'm walking a little bit fast just till I get to the actual main street. So I apologize for bopping the camera around. So get your bingo cards ready, because we're just about at our first item on the bingo card. Which is the Catonsville sign. Hello, good morning. It's okay. No, please. I love this sign. The Welcome to Catonsville sign. And you see that Catonsville, Baltimore County, Maryland is also Music City, Maryland. And we'll find out why as we walk around this main street. Davy Verse, good morning. You're coming to America next year. Keep us posted. Keep us posted. And also let me know if you need any information about touring. Historic events, historic places to visit. I'm your gal. Shouting to strangers, I love. Yes! Yes. We're friendly here in Maryland. Maryland people are super friendly. But this road, it's a pretty busy road. Maryland Route 140 Frederick Road here because it leads Maryland. And we can drive this road for about, 30 minutes from here and be in Frederick, Maryland. We've done that main street. But let's start to tick up the murals. Music City, Maryland. And the sign for the historic National Road. So our National Park Service designates buildings, structures, monuments, memorials, areas, and roads and other things as historically significant. And this is one of those. Hey, Paul, nice to meet you. And this is Catonsville Main Street. We're going to get into the heart of the main street in just a block or two, but I wanted to start at the Catonsville sign and get that mural and also cross the highway. So now we're getting closer to the more traditional main street. So we've ticked off the beautiful sign and the mural on our bingo cards. I think this is going to be a quite full one too. This is a traditional blue-collar working class neighborhood. I won't call it a suburb of Baltimore City, although it is in the county. We crossed over into the county. So it's not part of the city. But I hate to call it a suburb because it's so close to the city. It's a neighborhood. It's a town. It is its own town, but it has much more of a neighborhood feel. Now, this is a local staple here, GL Sheck's Grill, Food and Spirits. Established here in 1993, but this building certainly dates back to, I'm gonna guess, the 50s, 40s or 50s, that building dates back to. And then I want you to take a look at this Ridgeway Automotive building. Let's get up here and get a little closer. And this may have been a garage back in the day, but check out that architecture. It's quite different. Look at the ornamentation above the door and the roof line. I'm guessing it was like an old filling station back in the day, just because it does have that built-in garage. I don't think it was a bank or anything of that sort. But that's quite interesting. Oh, and here we go. The Old Line Country Festival is going to be here on September 13th, featuring all these things. So that's a good thing. Music is really important here. This was the place when you were a kid, if you broke your drumstick or needed a new reed for your clarinet, this is where you came. This is where you bought your instruments. This is Music City, Maryland. It is 9 a.m. here. So this is the U.S. Eastern Daylight Time. And this is, I'm going to guess, St. Timothy's Church, because we're on St. Timothy's Lane. Let's see if we can get a little more information about this obviously historic church. Let's go around this way. Isn't it though? Oh, I'm gonna pass the same runner we passed on the way up here. Morning. So yeah, no longer a church. It is managed by Civil Properties, being restored into something. Don't know what. But yeah, look at that. That is beautiful. This would have really stood out on the road. You know, this bright, white, beautiful church building would have stood out. And we are on kind of a hill. We're in an elevated part of, I'm still going to call it the city. We're 1 or 2 blocks outside of Baltimore City. But we're in an elevated part of the area. Now, this road right here, this stretch of road, is incredibly famous for its amazing 4th of July parade. And it's such a big deal here that people come a week in advance and put down their chairs and tie them up so that they get their seat for 4th of July parade. And you'll see chairs lined up on these sidewalks a week, maybe 2 weeks ahead of this parade. And the banner's still up. We're well beyond the 4th of July, but the banner's still up. So on our bingo card, we have banners. We have sidewalk, lamppost banners here on this main street. Morning. Yeah, we do daylight savings time here in most of the United States. There are a few cities and states that don't. But you can see all the banners lined up here as we're heading into the main street. Okay, it didn't rain. The water here is coming out of these mains for some reason. It's across the way, Catonsville Elementary School. I don't think we put school on the Main Street bingo card because it's not typical of a Main Street. It is a kind of a small town thing. We'll have to think about that. And I will actually produce an actual bingo card and post it on the channel soon. Just for fun. Yeah, it's a Main Street. It's a Main on the Main Street. But we're not in Maine. That would be hilarious. The Main Street in Maine, or the Main. So here we got all our 4th of July banners with the sponsorships of the local businesses. This one's sponsored by Lines Insurance and Financial Services. Now we're going to start to see why this is Music City, Maryland. Besides all of the festivals and great venues for seeing music, this is where you go to get your instrument, where you go to buy your instruments, get them fixed, get extra parts, trade them in. So this first one across the way is the Appalachian Bluegrass Music Center. Your place for lessons, sales, repairs. Decked out in the Music City, Maryland banner with the beautiful Maryland flag and the treble clef. That's pretty cool. As we get to this stretch, you'll see these businesses have been here for quite a while. And they're housed in buildings that have been here since the early 1900s, some of them dating back to the 1800s. I don't have information on this one, but I'm guessing this stone house is definitely 1800s. And another look here at the Appalachian Bluegrass Music Shop. And we've accidentally stumbled on our bank as a bank. The First National Bank, and the dates are 1897 to 1901. I think that's probably the construction dates. We'll get a better view of it when we go across the street. I don't want to walk into the street right now. But thank you, Space Nut. Bank, tick. Historic bank, technically. Tick, tick. We don't count the new ones unless they're homed in a historic bank. Sorry for the sun. I was trying not to film this way. But there's another good view of that bank with the wrought iron grates around the windows. Quite nice. With the new bank across the street. Now that could have been that building. That looks like that was some sort of store, some sort of historic storefront over there. The Bombshell Bling and Beauty Boutique. That's a winner. That is a winner. Bombshell Bling and Beauty Boutique. And next to it, Trax on Wax. Buying and selling used vinyl. And if you just look at the roof line, and just below it, you'll see this is the Caton building, dating to 1946. So, with two businesses now on the first floor. Bombshell Bling and Beauty Boutique and Trax on Wax. I think on this main street, you certainly get more one-off stores instead of chain stores. We'll have to give it a bonus point for having the fewest chain stores. And here we got Moore's Burgers. Moore's, M-O-R-S. Moore's Burgers. Moore's Burgers. Okay. All right, I got it. So the place is Moore's Burger. B-E-R-G-E-R-S. And they sell burgers. And they have live music. So it's Moore's Burgers. Got it? I got it. Moore's Burgers. It's a good name. Moore's Burgers. Hi, Lato Mag. This is Catonsville, Maryland. This is a main street. It's not a small town. It's just a few steps from the city of Baltimore, but located in Baltimore County. It is known as Music City, Maryland. And we just passed the Appalachian Bluegrass Music Shop, and we just passed Trax on Wax for buying and selling your vinyl. And we're taking a look at the historic architecture, and we're playing some Main Street bingo. And there's another banner. The banners are all the way up the street. Now this one here on the corner, this one I will definitely research this. This is absolutely, let me get out of the driveway here. This is absolutely a historic maybe department store or pharmacy of some sort. The architecture dates back to the 1930s, but I will do some research. The great big huge display windows. And I can imagine right there where you see the AME pharmacy medical equipment sign, that would have been a sign for whatever this business was, whether it was a hardware store or a department store. It's too big to be a drugstore back in the day. Hi, Zayad. Nice to see you. But this is a great building. It's so easy to just, if you want to, kind of imagine what this looked like back in the day. That's why these main streets are wonderful. They really do preserve not just the individual buildings, but kind of the entire feel and the look of these areas in the past. This is kind of the hub of Music City, Maryland. This is Bill's Music Room. And Bill is an awesome guy, Bill Higgins. The father of Maryland music, instruments, guitars specifically. This is the legendary Bill's Music. And you get everything here. You get your instruments, you get your equipment. I think this is where my husband came to get my daughter's amplifier. My daughter plays electric guitar. You come here for recording equipment. You can come here to record, I believe. This is Bill's Music. This is the heart of Music City, Maryland. And just across the street, over on this side, I'll come back down the other side so we can get a look at these places here, because I can't quite get a good, well, let me get another good look at Bill's here. Bill's Music. I think this place is known like worldwide, seriously. And on the windows, you can see the famous people who've come by here for equipment. And perhaps to record. It's directly across from this bar, restaurant, pub, and venue called State Fair. As in F-A-R-E, State Fair. And you can see the it's really open. In the back, they host music events. It's really great, actually. You can kind of see behind the sign, it's a former Friendly's ice cream place. You can still kind of see the outline of the Friendly's logo. But this is where you come to see live music. I've seen Carbon Leaf here, my favorite house band. I love Carbon Leaf. They do have a big, what do we call it? St. Patrick's Day festival. And many other festivals here too. Hi, good morning, Emery. You need to buy a good guitar Fender. Yes. Everyone should have a good, I don't play, my daughter is very musical. There's another mural across the street. We'll take a good look at it when we cross the street and get a good look at the other side here. And a railroad crossing sign, so we're gonna check that out as well. And a nice, beautiful bonus, the local fire department in a beautiful building. Baltimore County engine number 4. Thank you for all you do for us. We appreciate it. Frederick Road Fridays. A music symbol here. Every Friday, 6:30 to 8:30, hosted by the Catonsville Chamber of Commerce. Summer concert series, June through August. I guess maybe this might be the last. Might be the last. Thanks for all you do for us. We appreciate it. And a nice historic marker. Okay, I'm only going to photo half of it. There's a QR code in the corner. And I'm only like 50% lucky with not getting this stream cut off because I've accidentally filmed a QR code and it goes to the QR code. Gotta learn how to not do that. The original plan of Catonsville. This one's dating back to 1877, but this town is much, much older than that. Good morning, everyone. Firehouse. I really hope, there's always a danger that when budget cuts are happening and there are fewer fire stations. I love the way they clean the vehicles like every day. And they're always so super shiny and clean. I hope that never changes. Fire engines are they're just great. How's the weather? Oh, today is beautiful. Hi, Tobias. Hi, Atish. It is 60. It's probably a little warmer now. It was 65 when I got out of my car. It's probably about 67 degrees right now. And a nice breeze. It is perfect. Oh, and we have a paint your own pottery place. Wonderful. Again, we'll see it better from the other side of the street. Yesterday when we were in Annapolis, we passed the former paint your pottery place that is no longer here. Let's say this one is called the Pottery Cove. So this is the Pottery Cove here on Frederick Road in Catonsville, Maryland. Now this is one I wanted to make sure we didn't miss. The current Atwater's. So Atwater's is a really great bakery, sandwich, soup shop. But check out that building. There are Atwater's in different locations in and around Baltimore. But check out that building. There's no year on it. I thought there was a year on the top. There's no year on it. But absolutely beautiful. Now, what we have not seen, we haven't seen a fountain. We haven't seen like a visitor's office. I don't think you'd have a visitor's office here at this location for sure. I'm gonna have to talk because this gentleman has his music super loud. Or, nope, it's actually not. Not sure what's going on. Okay, we're gonna find out what's going on over there. Catonsville Gourmet Market and Fine Foods. Oh, it's not music. It's a fitness studio. Okay, and she's got the door open. That's pretty cool. Oh, I'm gonna have to talk over the music. You go, ladies. Mostly ladies in there. Salem Lutheran Church here. And we will see a cornerstone here, so we'll get to see what year this was built. Okay, I can't read it. I think it says 1845. I think it says 1845. We'll cross the street and get a better. We'll confirm that. But absolutely a massive church for its day. I'm gonna guess there was an original church here and then it was added on to, because it is just not typical for the 1800s to have a church of this size, right? So this would have been added on to. Hey, Space Nut. Yeah, I will look into better tools, definitely. I do these walks at just such short notice. And because I work full time, I don't really have time to put into learning new things. But I should. It doesn't mean that I shouldn't just because I can't. You know, just because I don't have the time to doesn't mean I shouldn't. It's kind of the converse of that great quote from Jurassic Park, which I'll probably misquote. You spent so much time figuring out whether you could, you never thought about whether you should. There are a lot of things I should do that I just don't have the time to do right now. But I really do appreciate your input and your thoughts. Oh, 1845 annexation of Texas. That's great. History factoids for the win. Now we are kind of at the end of the traditional part of the main street, but there are a few things just beyond that we will count for our bingo card, and you can probably see it. The post office. Catonsville Post Office is right there. And when we cross the street, we'll also see the library. So we'll get some bingo points for those. And then we'll come back down. Oh, can't tell you how nice it is to be out on a day that is not humid. Blue sky. Nice little breeze. I feel like I've been saying that a lot lately. It's been a good few weeks. It has been a good few weeks. And then a good view. Okay, there is no traffic coming. A good view down the main street from the top of the hill. Get back on the sidewalk. We'll check out the post office, and then from the other side of the street, we'll be able to see the library. As soon as I can cross. Well, thank you, Emery. Feeling a little squeaky today. I appreciate that. It's very kind of you. All right, come on now. Still waiting for the little signal. Grew up in the city and you just would find your way and walk between cars. but when I'm holding a phone, probably not the safest thing to do. And I just can't get the walking signal here. Come on. Oh, if it turns again without letting me cross, I am not going to be happy. It did. It did. All right, next time we're just going to take the opportunity. Yeah, I know it's wait. Look, it's telling me to wait. I'm waiting. Okay, if I didn't do it, I was never going to get across. United States Post Office with the flag here in Catonsville. Oh, we got a bonus. See, this is why we cross the street and look at things from the other side. I'll check it out in a minute. I'll show you our bonus in just a second. United States Post Office, 21228, Baltimore, Maryland. Even though we're in Baltimore County, it's still Baltimore. This is great. Okay, I'm going to come back with my big girl camera for this one. You might also know I've been coming to local post offices and getting postcards hand stamped. If you put a postcard just in the box, it's not guaranteed that you'll actually get the postmark from this post office. Even if you put it in the box right here, you won't necessarily get the postmark from this post office. You have to go inside and ask them to hand stamp. I just learned this. So I've been doing that. So I'm gathering postcards, plain postcards, and just getting the hand cancellations everywhere I go. Okay, it's turning into another completist activity for me, I know. Probably not what I need at this point. Another completist journey. And I don't say completionist, I say completist. It's just me. Years ago, before there were things called, before the current trend of completionist, like with respect to video games and travel, many years ago, people did refer to it as completist. So I'm sticking to that. So we've gone from end to end on this main street. And we're going to have another sign as soon as I turn around. We'll have the eastbound sign. Sorry, with the sun right in the lens. Let's see if we're getting a little bit of shade. There we go. Maybe that's a little bit of shade. How beautiful is that? Catonsville, Baltimore County, Maryland, Music City, Maryland. And in the distance, I said there was going to be one more bonus. Just a few blocks up, which you probably can't see, is the library across the way. So I think we can count that on our bingo card. It's a modern library. It's not a historic building. But here's the bonus I just noticed. There is a clock. Now, is this the town clock? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. But it's an old clock or a reproduction. I think we should count it. So what have we seen? We've seen our Catonsville sign. We've seen several murals. We found the bank, a historic, like a history sign, historic plaques, the post office, the library. I'm going to count this as a town clock. Churches, historic churches. We've seen a lot on this main street. Now we're going to see it all from the other side. Yeah, I think so. Space Nut, I think this clock gets a bonus. I think so. I'll come back with my big girl camera and get good pictures of it. That's the problem when I'm streaming. There's always something I want to stop and photograph with my other camera. Daveyverse, I'm with you. That's the decision. That's the right decision. For those of you not from Maryland, see that sign over there, Adopt a Highway? We'll wait for this car to go. And there's our sign, Frederick Road, Maryland 144, east and west. So you know where you are. This Adopt a Highway sign, Robert and Dan Bitzel have adopted this highway. It's a way for citizens to provide money to keep our roads clean. 25 years, Robert and Dan have adopted a highway. The program's been around for a long time. And you'll see it on state roads, you'll see it on interstates. Good one, Space Nut. That's a good one. So just like I say in Washington, D.C., you know, visit all the monuments and the memorials during the day and then come back at night to see what it looks like at night. Same thing for main streets. That's why I did Annapolis in the evening yesterday, and I've done some other main streets at night, because obviously they look totally different when lit up, with lights on, with different activity going on. Toy store across the street, the Better World Imaginarium. Toys, books, and more. That looks like fun. Now this building here, I mean, that has the look of a government building. It says it's physical therapy services, but I guarantee in the oldie days, that was either a government building, a school. It's too big to be a library. But this building, this architecture, this has that late 60s, early 70s feel to it for a government building. So sometimes when we concentrate on finding the oldest of structures, we miss some of the kind of, I hate to use that word, mid-modern. You know, sometimes we miss those 1940s and 50s structures that are really characteristic of their era. Hi, Robert. Robert, it's great to meet you from Fort Worth, Texas. Hi, Ben. Good morning. We are in Catonsville, Maryland. We just finished walking the main street from east to west, and now we're walking from west to east. And thankfully, because of this huge church, I'm in a little bit of shade, so I can move. Nope, not yet. I thought I was in a little bit of shade. I'm trying to move the camera and avoid shooting straight into the sun on this bright morning, but it's kind of difficult. I do pick like early morning to go east-west. I should pick my early morning walks to go north-south so that I don't have to worry about the sun directly in the east. Oh, okay, finally. In the shade now, I can move the camera this way. So we passed the Salem Lutheran Church from the other side and saw just how immense this church is. It definitely looks like a historic church, but I'm going to guess it was not this size. I'm going to guess it was added on to, because churches just were not this big. So now we can see that cornerstone more clearly. 1849 and 1903. So that, and you probably really can't see that. It's really hard. But so it was established in 1849, probably expanded in 1903. To where it is today, which is immense. And I'm just taking a little shortcut through the, or not a shortcut, diversion through this side street, because this building that we saw, which is a current or former Masonic building, has this beautiful doorway. Palestine, okay, careful. Palestine Lodge. Trying not to get this car. Look at that beautiful doorway with the Masonic symbol above it. So this would have been the lodge here in Catonsville, Maryland. in this building. Not a bank, not a bank. Former Masonic building here. Same characteristics, stone arched windows. Hey Pete, the Heretical Nerd. Hey everyone, check out the Heretical Nerd's channel. He plays games. He plays cool games. He likes to shoot things and blow things up. And his channel just became monetized. So go over there, check out his channel, give him a sub and some likes. Check out his videos. He's awesome. So the Palestine Lodge 189. Maybe they still meet upstairs. Maybe they do. That's a new sign. Gothic Revival. Almost. It's kind of that half and half. Little bit of Gothic Revival. Little bit utilitarian. Here's another view of that government building. Former government building, I'm going to say. Which is currently the Orthopedic Associates of Central Maryland. But that had to be a school, a bank, a courthouse of the like 1960s and 70s version. But that architecture, again, while it's not what we kind of typically think as historic, we need to include those eras as well when we're looking at different architectural styles. I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Clean lines. I like clean lines. If you missed earlier, we have had a very full bingo card today. Banners. They're a little outdated, the 4th of July banners, but this street is, I'm going to say, world-renowned. Probably not world-renowned. Here's our fitness class. We're going to go past our fitness class we were hearing on the other side of the street. The 4th of July parade here is just legendary, and people will put their chairs down and tie them down and weight them down. And people don't take the chair, like people are on watch to watch these chairs a week in advance of the parade. And there'll be chairs lined up on these sidewalks all the way down the street for a week or more in advance of this parade. Montana, I know, Robert, it's on my list. Definitely on my list. Although I spend most of my time in cities, I like to vacation away from cities. And Montana is on my list. I want to go back to Yellowstone. I've never been to Yosemite. That's on my list. Oh, hey, who is it? Ben? Ben. Do you always ask me about ice cream? I think it's Ben. Is this a bonus for an ice cream shop? We have found Catonsville Scoops. Ice cream, sundaes, and shakes. Right here. All right, we've got the ice cream shop. We can check that off our... I don't know if we have it on the bingo card, but it's definitely a Ben thing to find the ice cream shop. Hi, good morning. This one is Pat's Porch. Beautiful architecture. Absolutely beautiful. Whoops, gotta watch the sidewalks. Gotta watch the sidewalks. And there's the pottery place we saw from the other side. And here's Atwater's that we saw from the other side as well. You know, I'm either daunted by a really narrow street where you can't get both sides in a shot, or by traffic like this, or by the sun shooting straight into the lens. So sometime I'll find the perfect day when I can get both sides of a street. But that's pretty big, the Pottery Cove. Looks like the place to be for paint your pottery. Charm City Links & Co. Oh, that's actually pretty. By the way, Baltimore, the nickname of Baltimore is Charm City. And here's the Charm Shop. Oh, it's actually quite cool. So check that out. Charm City Links & Co. I'm going to check that out. Custom jewelry designed with love, welded to last. Sounds good. Oh, it's one of those. Oh, so the charm bracelet you get welded to your wrist. It's like that Tiffany's bracelet where they click the lock and then you can't get it removed. I don't know if I like that. So this one is Jennings Cafe. Oh, this car is coming right at me. 1958 for Jennings Cafe across the way. And that sign, we won't call it a ghost sign because it's still pretty vivid there. I keep saying 1858. It's 1958. Definitely not 1858. And this is Franco's Bistro, definitely in a historic building of some sort. I'm in the busy part now, trying not to get in people's way. People grabbing their breakfasts. Here's a great view back of that fire station. Hi, Juan. Hi, Theater of Pain. Great to see you. I'm in Catonsville, Maryland. We're doing a Main Street walk today on Maryland Route 155, Catonsville, Maryland. I want to get just a little shot of this shuttle bus. UMBC Retrievers, the University of Maryland, Baltimore County is an amazing university here in Catonsville, Baltimore County. They became world famous when in the NCAA tournament a few years ago, they were ranked in their bracket number 16, which is the bottom, right? I think they got into the tournament because they won their conference tournament. And they beat the number 1 team, Virginia. And that never, ever had happened before, where a 16 seed beat the number 1 seed. And it was pandemonium here. And then I think they won a few more. They didn't make it to the Final Four, but I don't think they did. Maybe to the elite, can't remember again. But that's where UMBC became famous. And their mascot is the Retriever, the Chesapeake Bay Retriever. So there's a shuttle from UMBC, which is really close by here. And there's that awesome fire station. Hi, Zakaria. Hi, Meta. I mean, everybody gives us such good recommendations for places to visit. My next trip is Boston, I think. If nothing intervenes, I might be in Boston in a few weeks. Every city should have a main street. Some don't. Some, it's funny. Some it's like, you know, the crossroads with a post office and a sign that says, "Welcome to this little city or town," and that's it. There's a really good shot of that fire department. And the engine's gone. Okay, so just a few minutes ago, when we walked west, which was literally 10 minutes ago, the engine was there. The engine is gone. We didn't hear sirens, so hopefully everything's okay. But the ambulance is there, or the paramedic truck is there. And here the little local government offices, Councilman Pat Young, who represents the 1st District, and Congressman Kwesi Mfume, who's a United States Congressman. I met Kwesi Mfume when I was in high school. He judged a history contest that my little team won. Okay, so surprise, Sandy's team won a history contest. Not because of me, because of the team. But we won a history contest, and we got to meet, at the time Kwesi Mfume was he mayor of Baltimore? I can't remember what role he had. He's had so many leadership roles in Baltimore and across Maryland. I believe he was also the president of the University of Baltimore for a short time. Whatever role he was in at the time, maybe he was a congressman back then, I don't know. But I got to meet him and get a picture taken with him. And I think we won that round, but we didn't win the finals of our little history contest. So shout out to my history team. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Okay, we're way too close to get this mural right here. Let's get in the shade. Railroad crossing, look out for the locomotive. The Catonsville Short Line Railroad. Completed in 1884, the Catonsville Short Line Railroad once ran 7 trains daily to downtown Baltimore. That is a short line. It's literally just a few miles. Wow. Wilson and Pullman Lumber and Coal is the site of Bill's parking lot. Okay, so where we're standing now was this Wilson and Pullman Lumber Coal. It's literally where I'm standing right now. Liberty Hall. No, I lie. Okay. The one on the far right that says Catonsville Short Line Station is where I'm standing right now. Okay, obviously it's where they put the sign. To the left of me is Bill's Music, and to the right is the other parking lot. Okay, got it. And let's take a step back and take a look at this old historic railroad sign. And what I came to see is this beautiful mural. Maybe it's just me, and maybe I haven't traveled enough, but I tend to think that the murals in Maryland are so vivid and vibrant. I'm sure they are in other places in the world, but I just love this tradition of covering up plain old walls with amazing art. Look at that. And it's called Farmers Market. That is fantastic. Coming back with the big girl camera for this one, obviously. And here we are back at Bill's Music. Established in 1965. I gotta stop saying 18 automatically. In 1965, but still historic. There's another view of State Fair across the way. Bill's 60th year. This is 60 years of Bill's. Some of the famous people who were here, I'm going to try to talk over. Obviously, there's music. The famous Bill Higgins. A look back at the early days. Okay, you come past these music stores and you're going to hear music. So I have to talk and keep talking and keep talking and keep talking. Bon Jovi with Bill. Vince Gill with Bill. Zach Myers with Brian and Tracy. Paul Reed Smith, definitely a Baltimore staple. Paul Reed Smith guitars right here in Baltimore. And all the famous folk here. Joe Cocker, Brian Wilson, Eddie Van Halen. Marty Bass, local television celebrity Marty Bass. And the history of Bill's. Catonsville, known as Music City, Maryland. Oh, 100% there would be a McDonald's, Subway, KFC. There's not any of those. There is a McDonald's. There is a McDonald's just down the street here. There is. And if there are, so like you see this little strip mall here with the hair cuttery and a PNC bank. It's kind of set off the main street, and I like that. Now I've been to State Fair, like I said, for music. They'll put a big tent up in the parking lot here. They'll put up a huge tent. They'll have live acts here. I've been here for Carbon Leaf, and but I haven't been here for breakfast or brunch, so I'll have to do that. I hear it's really good. And Another look back at Bill's and the big guitars. These guitars do light up at night. So when you come back to this main street at night, not only do you get these great street lamps, but you get these neon guitars, characteristic of Catonsville, Maryland. Hi, Ronald. Nice to meet you. We're on a Main Street walk this morning, Catonsville, Maryland. I think we've ticked off everything we can tick off on our bingo card today. Who mentioned the taco place? El Guapo Tacos. Yeah, I think if I go up just 2 more blocks, we're gonna see a McDonald's. It is. It is what it is. This is also a thoroughfare, you know, for people to go to work to and from Baltimore City from this part of the county. So you are going to get those drive-through places like a couple of banks and a McDonald's. I love these old bar signs. I'm so glad that a few of them are still around. And I'm sure they're not typical to Baltimore and the Baltimore area, but I do love these old signs. And Trax on Wax. Buy and sell your vinyl here. This was what I was trying to say. Morse Burgers Burgers. The place is Moore's Burger, but they have burgers. So it's Moore's Burgers Burgers, which is not easy to say. Moore's Burgers Burgers. Next to Trax on Wax. For all your vinyl needs. Okay, so which ones did I have that are in that window? Definitely had Thriller. Definitely had Rumors. Had Rebel Yell. Hall & Oates, yes, Heart and Hall & Oates, yep, had those. And we're back to the Bombshell Bling and Beauty Boutique over here. Place to be. Oh, I have to talk, because there's music. There's a great look back at that bank. I think that's my favorite. It tends to be my favorite Main Street find is the bank. Now there is no bank. Like I'm wondering why that PNC bank down there or the M&T bank that we just passed, why they didn't choose this building. Because I like when a bank stays a bank. Oh yeah, Loverboy. I don't know if I had the album. What was the song that I liked? It wasn't Turn Me Loose. Was that Loverboy? Yeah, Turn Me Loose. That's the one I liked. And we're back to the Appalachian Bluegrass Music Center. Those awesome Maryland flags. Instruments, repairs, supplies. Super. Working for the weekend. Yeah, that, I mean, I know that was one of the songs, but I think the song I liked better was Turn Me Loose, if that was Loverboy. I think that was. I was really, really little back then, like super little. My mom and dad liked Hall & Oates and kind of that, what we call today, yacht rock. So I think when my parents were young, oldies for them was like 50s music, right? The music that their parents listened to. And then for me, when I was little, my parents' oldies were 70s music, which is now yacht rock, which I do like. It's like home cooking. It's like comfort food for music. So I guess when I get older, my kids will think my 90s music was oldies. Oh, and there's the Subway. Look, we found the Subway. Watch, I bet it'll be right across from the McDonald's. Just because you mentioned it. I think all those 80s and 90s bands were awesome because for the most part, they wrote their own music. They played their own music. They weren't lip syncing. They couldn't be, some of them weren't the best vocalists, but they were good. It wasn't this synth pop garbage. Sounding like an old lady now. These young kids listen to bad music, but they do. So Rita's is kind of a local Italian ice frozen custard place. Love it. We love Rita's. Rita's used to only be open strictly in the summer, and then it became so popular that they would open up a little early. Like they used to open in May, and then they would open in April. And now they open in March. And originally they would close in September, and then they stayed later until October. I think they're year-round now because you need ice cream year-round. You need Italian ice year-round. You don't just need it in the summer. I'm going to take one last look back up this main street, which is Catonsville, Maryland. Maryland Route 144, just a few steps from Baltimore City. We're in Baltimore County. I want to thank everyone for joining me today on this little jaunt. We had a very successful Main Street bingo card today. I hope everyone has a fantastic, fantastic day. Davey Verse, thank you for modding for me. I so appreciate it. I can't read the chat for a number of reasons. Trying to watch for traffic. But the sun is either in my eyes or on the screen, so it's really hard. I so appreciate you checking the chat. We generally have a good chat. We only have a few weirdos once in a while. But I want to thank everyone. Yeah, oh my gosh, Davey Verse, super. I'll be back at 3 p.m. on Stasis Geeks channel, 3 p.m. Eastern time. On Stasis Geeks channel for Film Club. Our film is A Bug's Life. You still have time to watch it. Join us, myself, Stasis Geek, and Jay from Nerd Takes. Also, check out the Heretical Nerds channel. Congratulate him on being monetized. If you like these little walks, please like and subscribe to my channel. I didn't plan to do one today, but the weather was so beautiful. I don't plan to do one tomorrow, but who knows? Who knows? Everyone have a fantastic weekend and take care.